What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. I know it's been several days since the Donald Trump foolishness on Twitter Spaces with Elon Musk. And I've been wanting to talk about it, but I've been dealing with the heat in my home. My studio is in my home, and I have not had any air conditioning since last week. During Tropical Storm Debbie, definitely did lose some power and had a power surge that pretty much fried my HVAC unit. And so, home warranty company, they're dragging their feet. So, in the meantime, I am having a fan blowing on me while I'm trying to get this work done. So I want to share this video with you guys. This is courtesy of the Midas Touch. And I'm just going to do a reaction to it because they do it like no other. So let's just go ahead and get into this, guys. So let's go ahead and get this going. Let's get it started.
This Donald Trump interview with Elon Musk that took place on Monday night was a total disaster. First and foremost, the app that was attempting to be used to host this interview was like broken. They finally fixed it after Elon Musk lied and claimed that there was some sort of like hacker attack going on. Then as Donald Trump started speaking, he was slurring his words. Dentures started trending. Daffy Duck started trending. Donald Trump appeared to be in steep cognitive decline. Let me just show you the lowlights of what went down. I listened to this whole ridiculous thing, so you didn't have to. Donald Trump talked about how we saw the Time magazine cover that just came out with Vice President Kamala Harris, and he remarked that it looked a lot like his third wife, Melania, and said that that doesn't really look like Kamala, but it looks like Melania. Here, listen to what Donald Trump said. Play this clip.
She's terrible. But she's getting a free ride. I saw a picture of her on Time magazine today. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great first lady, Melania. She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
Now take a listen to Donald Trump slurring his words right here. This is some of the worst slurring I've heard from Donald. Try to even make out what he's saying right here. Play this clip.
But that's okay. That's the way I get treated, and I don't mind that at all. What I can tell you is this. We cannot have a Democrat. We cannot have her. She's incompetent. She's as bad as Biden in a different... Look, she hasn't done an interview since this whole scam started. And...
This whole scam started. And look at him. Look how terrible he looks. I mean, he's never been attractive anyway. But for him to talk about Joe Biden, like, dude, you're 2 steps away from the grave yourself. Let's be real.
And say what you want. This was a coup. This was a coup of...
Same thing here. Donald Trump is asking Elon Musk if he should get paid for being on this Spaces. And you'll hear Donald Trump just kind of slur his words, pauses in between what he's saying. He does not seem well at all. Here, play this clip.
Well, wow. I think in terms of people...
That's bigger than you said. You said 25, and you're much more than double that number, 25 million. I think you're going to be 60 or 70. And I guess over a period of time, hey, I congratulate you. Do I get paid for this or not?
Well, I think actually in terms of the number of people that will hear this conversation over the next few days to weeks, it's going to be hundreds.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's good. Well, look, it's an honor.
Do I get paid for this? Now, wasn't he doing this to promote himself running for office that he does not deserve to be in? But he's asking, does he get paid for that? All right.
But I just asked this, are you better off?
Donald Trump then says if he loses the election, he and Elon Musk should flee together to Venezuela. Play the clip.
And again, I told you that crime rates all over the world are going way down, which makes sense. In fact, the next time what we'll do is if something happens with this election, which would be a horror show. We'll meet the next time in Venezuela because it'll be a far safer place to meet than our country. Okay.
Go now. Leave us alone. I don't think Melania would mind.
Okay, so we'll go. You and I will go, and we'll have a meeting and dinner in Venezuela because that's what's happening.
As Tim O'Brien writes, Trump is slurring his words and is unable to clearly enunciate S words in unusually messy ways during this Musk interview. He had trouble hearing at the NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, and at his Mar-a-Lago presser. He has declined in age noticeably over the last year.
And that is so true. Like, if you look at him, I mean, I'm not saying that he looked like he was 45 last year and now he looks like he's 79. But he really has aged a whole lot in the past year. And we already know, for those who don't pay attention, this is really something that happens. The office of the presidency, it is one that ages you a whole lot faster than other positions. So I 100% agree with him with that.
Susan Simpson writes, Trump is slurring in a way I've never heard from him before. Elon sounds like this is maybe the third or fourth time he's had a conversation with a fellow human. Here, Donald Trump talks about one of his plans, which is one of the top priorities of Project 2025, to shut down the Department of Education. Let's play this clip.
And what I'm going to do, one of the first acts, and this is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education.
Here, Donald Trump engages in his typical fear-mongering and
close the Department of Education for what? Like, seriously. And we already know that's not going to be beneficial to those who are on the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to finances, right?
Says if Vice President Kamala Harris is elected, there will no longer be a country. Play this clip.
Lunatic. And if she's going to be our president, very quickly, you're not going to have a country anymore. And she'll go back to all of the things that she believes in. She believes in defunding the police. She believes in no fracking, zero. Now all of a sudden she's saying, no, I really want to see fracking.
So you may assume that you're getting every
fast forward through that commercial. And it's pretty long. All right.
Oh, walls age better than rockets. I don't know. Here, play this clip.
The tunnels, but everything is obsolete. Even your rocket ships, they're like a month later, they're obsolete. You find a better way to. The only thing that's not obsolete is a wall and a wheel. And the wall, I built hundreds of miles of wall.
Donald Trump then says that he is okay with climate change. He approves of climate change if it helps his beachfront property. He says it may be beneficial, climate change. Again, Donald Trump pushing these very dangerous views. Here, play this clip.
The biggest threat is not global warming, where the ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 400 years. And you'll have more oceanfront property, right? The biggest threat is not that. The biggest threat is nuclear warming.
Next, Donald Trump praises Elon Musk for firing striking workers. And Donald Trump says that that's a great boss move, getting rid of hard workers the way Elon Musk gets rid of them. Here, play this clip.
This cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone. And you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it. But, if you look at Argentina. Here,
as Donald Trump continues to slur his words, he talks about how we need a man or a person with who's sharp, with skills to run the country. Just try to even make out what he's saying right here as he continued to slur his words and show steep cognitive decline. Play this clip.
Possible.
Yes.
So this is like talking to an NPC. No. So it's just impossible.
Well, but think of it. We need a man or person who's unbelievably sharp in order to stop all the nuclear danger and all the dangers that I'm talking about. And I got along with all these. I got along with Kim Jong-un. We had dinner. We had everything.
What the? When did he have dinner with Kim Jong-un? First of all, I don't believe that. Now, they did have some communications, but dinner? Did he fly over there with Dennis Rodman? I don't remember that happening.
And he really liked me, and I got along with him really well. By the way, he's the absolute boss over there. You know, a lot of people said, "Oh, do you think he really?"
That's for
let
sure.
me tell you, I saw things that you don't want to know about. He is the boss.
Disgusting. Kim Jong-un is a dictator. Don't you know this? Like, you can't even believe in God over there. Like, he is the person that they are supposed to worship. I read a story where they put a family, including a 2-year-old baby, in prison because they found a Bible in their home. And for this man to say that Kim Jong-un is the absolute boss, no, he's the absolute dictator in chief. He's horrible. But he admires people like that because that's what he wants to be.
But we had a good relationship, and he doesn't like Biden. He considers him a stupid man. He said he's a stupid man. Well, at least he speaks his mind. But you know, in this country, you're not sort of allowed to say it, but I guess you are. You should be allowed to say it if it's true. But we need smart people, and we need people that have.
Joe Biden may be old, but he's far from stupid. And he definitely ain't crazy. Donald Trump doesn't have the most intelligence, that is for sure. But I wouldn't call him stupid, but he damn sure is crazy. So, yeah, I would take old and smart over old and crazy any day. But thankfully, unlike Donald Trump, Joe Biden was willing to step aside for the greater good and allow someone else to step up. And no one pushed Kamala into the position. She decided to take it on. She was already the second in command anyway. She honestly could have bowed out and said, you know what, that's not something that I want to do. Yeah, I did run for president before, but I'm just not up for being the commander in chief and running for that seat again. She could have said no.
An ability to lead. And she doesn't have that ability. Can you?
Then Donald Trump says that the biggest danger facing the United States of America is not Russia, not China, not our foreign enemies. He goes, the biggest danger to the United States of America is the danger from within. American citizens, he says, is the biggest threat to America. Here's Donald Trump saying more traitorous and treasonous things. Play the clip.
Look, there's nobody that feels worse about the Ukraine situation than I do, because I know it would have never happened. I know Zelensky. He was very honorable to me, because when they went with the Russia hoax and they said I had a phone call with him, he said it was a perfect phone call. It was a great phone call. He could have grandstanded and, said, oh, he was very threatening. He said, no, it was a very nice phone call. I called him up to congratulate him on his win, and you end up getting impeached because these people are lunatics. Yeah. I was talking about the difference from the people within and the enemies on the outside. In many cases, the people from within are more dangerous for our country than the Russias and the Chinas. If you have a smart president, you're not going to have a problem with them. You're going to do things.
Yeah.
Now, they've taken advantage of
absolutely.
us incredibly, but you're going to do things with the right person.
Let's be clear. Kamala, she actually had to work for everything that she has. She is an attorney. She was a prosecutor. She has been in Congress for these years. She has worked for the things that she has got and gotten to. All right. Donald Trump has been given everything that he has and has been continuously propped up by the powers that be for whatever reason. I still don't know why. So for him to sit and talking about you need somebody smart in there, this woman has definitely proven that she has the skills to pay the bills. Donald Trump, all he does is file bankruptcy and dodges the people that he owes. It's just ridiculous.
By the way, here was Elon Musk at the outset of this event saying that there was a DDoS attack, which there was not, but just listen to Elon lies. Just app doesn't work. Play this clip.
But all of our data lines, like basically hundreds of gigabits of data were saturated. We think we've overcome most of that, and so it's now time to proceed. But as this massive attack illustrates, there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say.
Here's what Elon Musk wrote. There appears to be a massive DDoS attack on X, working on shutting it down. Worst case, we'll proceed with smaller number of live listeners and post the conversation later. One reporter reached out to Trump's camp and said, I asked the Trump campaign why the coup attempting criminal former president is slurring his words and lisping. The campaign responded, must be your shitty hearing. Get your ears checked out. That's the official response by the Trump campaign to Trump's steep cognitive decline and slurring of his words. Quote, must be your shitty hearing. Get your ears checked out.
No, his slurring and spitting is hurting our ears. Like, they can't even admit to his decline mentally and physically. He's gross.
As Judd Legum writes for The Verge, the rest of X appears to be working normally. However, and a source at the company confirmed to The Verge that there wasn't actually a DDoS denial of service attack. Another X staffer said there was a 99% chance Elon was lying about the attack. So what was going on during the speech? Just a total meltdown from Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, we expect nothing more from him moving forward to say he's just melting. Yeah, he is. But, the two of them, Elon and Donald, they have definitely something in common. They both have 3 baby mamas, except Elon, he has a whole lot more kids than Donald does. Elon has 11 children with 3 women. Donald Trump, he has what? Barron with Melania, Tiffany, the one that he doesn't like to really spend too much time with, doesn't really want to claim. Some people call her the ugly daughter, which is not fair. But if we're honest, she does look a whole lot like him more than Ivanka does. So that's probably why he hates her so much, because he sees so much of himself in her. With Marla Maples, and then he has Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric, with the buried in his backyard Ivana Trump. Rest in peace. So yeah, they have a few things in common. They both have kids with 3 different baby mamas. So I just thought that was a little fun fact for you guys. But anyway, let me know what you thought about his slurring, his distorted ways, his meltdown, his lies, his weirdness on this Twitter Spaces chat that he had with Elon Musk, which, by the way, started, I believe they said 40 or 45 minutes late. But yet when he went to the NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists, he wanted to call them out about how it started late. And I feel like it was a dig to the ethnicity, because we do know that there is this stigma and stereotype of how Black people are always late. They call it CP time or color people time. So I do believe that that was definitely on purpose of him saying that, when honestly, it had nothing to do with them starting late. It had a lot to do with Donald Trump and his team, and how they didn't want certain things to go down. They were planning on everything happening at the start time. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye.